Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so great to be with you and glad to be with you tonight, which is Monday, February 27, 2023. Thanks so much for popping in. We have a great show. I want to welcome you. We're going to talk about something really cool tonight. We start on a Saturday, we roll all the way through the week, and we end up on a Friday. But I want to thank you for coming back. If you've been supporting me for a long time, thank you so much. It means a lot from the bottom of my heart. I also want to thank those people that come back and watch us on the replays 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 12 midnight, 12 noon, or whenever you find the time to watch or rewatch. Thank you so much. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Let's get into our master topic, shall we? Here we go, everyone. Our master topic for tonight is, everybody ready for our master topic? Here it is, How to Take Criticism. Series 2, Show 9, Episode 3. So Series 2 means we are in Year 2, which is our second series, Show 9, and we're in Episode number 3. Now, we talked about criticism a little bit before, and I want to talk to you in regard to the perspective of how it relates to sports. That could be baseball, basketball, softball, football, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, track. There's so many different sports, right? And I think sometimes when people do play sports, especially when somebody is a team captain, they get this ego and they think that they're like, better than anybody. And I have to tell you that they're really not better than anybody. Okay. They're not better than anybody. And I say this to you because it's important to understand what it means. Okay. What does it mean? It means the fact that people just don't get it. They just don't get it. And I want to tell you that it's something you have to understand. Okay. Something you have to understand because I believe it's something pretty cool. And I will tell you that it's something you definitely want to think about. I will say to you that it's about understanding things. And I think a lot of people don't quite get it. The reason they don't get it is because they believe that they're doing everything right. And so if you don't take constructive criticism and give constructive criticism and you're on a sports team, well, that's a recipe for failure and that's a recipe for continued loss and defeat. Because in sports, we play to have fun, but we play to learn so we can become better versions of ourselves. Hey, what do you know? That's a pretty cool thing to become better versions of ourselves. And what I mean by that is it's important to understand why. And this why is there for one reason. I will tell you that you need to understand why people do things and why people don't do things. And so on a team, if somebody's doing something a certain way and they're acting a certain way and being very funny, then I think you're going to be feeling put off by that. Now, if you're the one that's being this high and mighty kingpin, then other people are not going to want to be around you. They're going to feel intimidated by you. And again, in team, ladies and gentlemen, there is no I, okay, and there's no me. There's a team. So when we're on a sports team, we play together. If somebody's hogging the ball all the time, a proper thing might be to tell the guys, say, look, we want to win together as a team. I know there are many times when, we get so close and you keep the ball, you never pass it back to any of us. And we could, help you set the shot up and then you could take it. It's just that we never get the opportunity because you just go and score right away instead of passing it. And there's just so many times where we could have won. Just take last week, for example. If the ball would have gotten passed to me and then back to Jeremy and then back to you, you could have easily scored, as opposed to just trying to make a quick shot. Because by us passing it around, they don't know what we're doing or why we're doing it. Does that sound pretty cool? And so I know that we're here as a team. I know we're playing because we love this sport. And so I'm going to ask you if we can start, playing more like a team instead of individuals. When you play like a team, the other team cannot penetrate you. Very, very hard to do because you got this iron wall that's up, an iron wall. And so in sports, when we think about criticism, you could say, well, gee, he wasn't standing right. He didn't pitch right. We could put all these things on the person, like, the pitcher didn't throw right. I could have done better. So instead of, trying to take the person down a few pegs, say, look, I know you're working really hard and you had some amazing pitches those first 2 innings. It's just that when we got to that 3rd inning, it just seemed like the ball was like always off the plate. And we had 4 balls right in a row and you walk somebody. We have to work more on, not so much throwing a complicated pitch, but trying to confuse the batter. I think that's the most important thing. If we could do that, then we have a higher chance of getting them out. Does that make sense? All right. Now, in a team, okay, especially a sports team, people want to do the right thing. They want to do the right thing. And I'm asking you because I know that we have a vested interest to win. And sometimes we put winning way ahead of our team's values, of helping each other. If you win a game, for example, and you do it all by yourself and there's no team interaction, that's not a great win. You won, that team didn't win. Involve your team and work with your team back and forth, communications, passes, plays, etc. When you do this, they're going to feel needed. So what I always told people on the team to do is, even if you don't need somebody's help, be a little humble and ask for it anyway. You might find that the person surprises you. You might find that you learn something that you never knew, all because you decided to open up and just become vulnerable. So a team is there once they get to know you to protect you and to keep your weaknesses away from the other team and to help augment them so that they can be mitigated down and they can compensate for your weaknesses. And the same thing you'll do for theirs. But if we're playing as a non-team, if we're playing as just X players on the field, then we're not really using the power of team. And a team has the ability to set up plays. A team has the ability to do so many great things. But one thing a team is best at is when we learn our strengths and we learn our weaknesses. Now, you might say, John, how do you do that? Well, you learn that through practice. You learn that how befriending people. I mean, that's how you learn that. And so when you play, it's important to build friendships on and off the field so that when you are playing, okay, they're more apt to trust you. I know so many people that have played, myself included, when I started playing soccer many, many years ago. And, I got out there and all I believed I had to do was get the ball and score. But I didn't worry about the team. And I didn't do so well all the time. when I started realizing that the team is there to help me, even the people that might have been a little bit, I don't know, prickish, when you ask them for help and they see how grateful you are for that and that you are able to support each other, it changes the dynamic of the group. And now it's not about me trying to win the game. It's how can we work together to get that goal? How can we work together to get that pass? How can we work to make sure that the other team doesn't get the ball when we're on offense? How? And it's these questions that we ask ourselves that will make the difference to whether that team is going to be molded with, let's say, a very strong glue or just some, let's say, light paste that barely is able to hold anything together. Now, I know what you're saying, John. When I play on a team, I just want to win. I don't want to think of anybody else. Well, I get it. So that is what ego is. Ego. So in order to understand this, I want to explain what is an ego. Okay. So an ego is a person's sense of self-esteem, their self-importance. Okay. Um, your ego is your conscious mind. It's the part of your identity that you consider yourself. If you say that someone has a big ego, then you're saying he is too into himself. Okay. What does that mean? Too into himself, too full of himself, right? So an ego is defined as one sense of identity. Okay. The self concept. A self concept should be distinguished from self esteem or self respect because the beliefs are descriptive rather than positive words or feelings. Ego comes from the Latin word meaning I. When Sigmund Freud developed the theory of psychoanalysis, he used the German word S to describe the part of the self that is responsible for making decisions. Freud's translator chose the word ego. And Freud said and believed that the mind was comprised of three distinct but interrelated parts: the superego, which is the part that deals with moral and cultural assumptions, such as when we internalize as children or ideas like right from wrong, gender roles, etc., knowing about our conscience. Ego is the part of the mind responsible for ensuring one's desires, impulses, how we conform to external reality. Okay. The reality principle. The id, the part that represents the unconscious mind. And this is where all one's primitive desires come from, such as the desire for sex, food, and other things that we enjoy in life. And so when we start to realize that this is how our body works, now we can figure out how to teach it, how to train it, and how to use it to the best ability to give us maximum results to achieve our goals. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this amazing Monday evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And be sure, yes, ladies and gentlemen, to go to my YouTube channel, John Space C Space MORLEY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase. Help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or even a savory dessert. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, impactful content to change your life if that's what you really want. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Feel free to watch this as many times as you need because there's lots of valuable tidbits in here that I think everyone will benefit from. Have yourself a great night, everyone. Take care.